Hello everyone and welcome to my class. My name is Pooja Divedi. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic which is the need of the hour because today is the World's AIDS Day. The World's AIDS Day is supposed to be paying homage to those who have already passed because of this particular disease and to those as well who are living with this disease in order to create awareness among the citizens and the citizens of the world itself. It is needed that by each passing day, we realize the importance of HIV vaccine. The HIV Day, the World's HIV Day, is marked on the 1st of December, and we also have an HIV Vaccine Day. Can anybody tell me that what is that day? I'm waiting for your answers. By the end of this comment, you have to do it. All right, so today we are going to talk about the World's AIDS Day because this year we are going to mark this AIDS Day in continuation since 1998. It was recommended by the WHO. AIDS is different from HIV. We are going to discuss that as well. This year, 2025, the theme can also be asked in your examination. So the theme for this year is Overcoming Disruption, Transforming the AIDS Response. The focus is, first, we need to find a permanent cure for HIV. Until and unless we have a permanent cure, what is the point of celebrating or marking this day? Because 42 years, since the last 42 years, we are trying to develop a vaccine to no avail. And this is particularly concerning because although the number of infections have decreased due to awareness, yet the people remain, whenever we talk about the people who are infected, they still remain under this impression that nobody cares about them, which is not the correct response. Okay, so the focus is making HIV service resilient, equitable, community-led, addressing disruptions due to pandemic, conflicts and inequalities. We know that since the COVID-19 pandemic, all the focus has shifted to such respiratory diseases. But we do not have to forget that COVID was also caused by a virus. Virus keeps on changing their pattern, their mutation, their genetic diversity. And specifically, if we talk about retroviruses, because HIV is a retrovirus, that also becomes a part of the problem. And I think that is the root of the problem for HIV. So we are going to discuss everything step by step. First of all, if I talk about HIV, we have to distinguish what is the difference between HIV and HIV AIDS. Sometimes people get confused. So HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. What is this? This is a virus. HIV is a virus. HIV is actually a virus and it is a retrovirus. That means it doesn't have a DNA but an RNA. It doesn't have a DNA but an RNA. Whenever any person is infected by this virus, RNA converts into DNA, and this is actually a reverse transcription. This happens in reverse. Generally, DNA does in RNA, does convert in RNA. But here, RNA, when any person gets infected by HIV, the RNA gets converted into DNA. So this is reverse transcription. And after that, this integrates with the human cell or human DNA. Integrates with human DNA. Okay, and hence it becomes a problem for us to get rid of. HIV virus causes AIDS. This causes AIDS. AIDS is the state of disease. This is the state of disease. Any person who is suffering from HIV, if not treated properly, then they will definitely be having AIDS. So what is AIDS? If HIV is this, then what is AIDS? Let's talk about that as well. AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, which is a disease caused by HIV. HIV is a virus, AIDS is a disease. If I talk about AIDS, this is a disease, and it is caused by HIV. We can say that generally it is a sexual or sexually transmitted disease. Primarily, it goes through this procedure, sexually transmitted disease. And its full form is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So HIV AIDS. Whenever you hear the term HIV AIDS, that means HIV is the virus and AIDS is the disease. It is a long-term disease and it cannot be cured. This is the problem. There are many challenges with AIDS. First of all, it was recently discovered, not too long in the past, in the 1980s itself. Since 1988, India is trying to fight this disease, which is actually working. However, we still have a long way to go. We are going to discuss India's plans as well. So, if I talk about the history of HIV and AIDS, let's take you back to when was it discovered. 1983, it was through Science Journal only, when French virologists Francois Bar-Sinoussi and Luc Montagnier in the Institute of Pasteur isolated a retrovirus. This retrovirus was the HIV. They thought that these patients are undergoing through certain diseases. So they started understanding what is causing this disease. Once they isolated this virus, they still did not know that this was the most potent virus in the entire human history. And this was later named as human immunodeficiency virus. 1983 is not too long ago, right? Thereafter, in the early years, what impacts were seen? Fatality rate was very high. Anybody who got infected through this disease, if they did not receive any sort of treatment, the fatality rate was 100%. That means 100 people, if they were suffering from disease, all of these 100, if left untreated, were going to die. No vaccines developed despite global research. This is also a problem. HIV has become a global pandemic with millions infected by it. Not affected wouldn't be the correct word. Infected would be the correct word. Now, if I talk about HIV globally has infected approximately, until now, which we have the recorded cases, 91.4 million people. So HIV infection is very prevalent. In history, entire history, 91.4 million people have been infected globally until now. And the problem is that because this is a retrovirus, there is no permanent cure. There is no permanent cure. Only palliative treatment is given. Palliative treatment means what? Palliative means just managing of the disease is given, of the disease actually happens. Palliative treatment, which is actually known as antiretroviral therapy. Antiretroviral therapy. We are going to discuss that as well. And initially, HIV infected people, some of them got cured as well. Some. How? They got cured because of bone marrow transplantation. Bone marrow transplantation was actually given for treatment of cancer, and eventually they noticed that they were also cured of HIV. However, it is not possible, neither financially nor safety wise, to give bone marrow transplantation to each and every HIV infected person. So that is why some got cured because of bone marrow transplantation, which happened for cancer cases. And if they were infected by HIV as well, then also they got helped. They were cured. However, this is not financially feasible for most of the population, and it is also not secure enough. So that is why we need to find at least vaccines. Vaccines are the cure. Vaccines can help in prevention. Vaccines can help in precaution. Vaccines can also, after a period of time, they can also become a cure. So let's talk about them as well. So if I just give you a gist about what happens if somebody has undergone through this particular thing, the HIV, what are the symptoms of it? Initial symptoms may not be very uncommon, as in they feel like an infection, they feel like a fever. But as the HIV progresses, as it goes more into penetration in your body, it starts infecting you more and more. So people will start to have a long-term cough. They will see their immunity getting weakened. They will be very prone to infections. They will also, after a period of time, experience continuous weakness, continuous weight loss. So all this is a big series of symptoms of HIV. So this is very important for us to know. Mostly HIV actually goes into one's body through sexual contact, especially unprotected sex. So this is very important for everyone to know. Unprotected intercourse. And another thing is that if somebody has used an infected vaccine or syringe, not vaccine, used an infected syringe. Anybody who has used a syringe, who may have used a syringe, that person might have had this disease, and if that syringe is used on some other person, it goes into your blood and then infects you. So this is a pattern which we observed throughout the years in how HIV AIDS gets transmitted. So these two are the main causes. All right. Now, one thing that we have to know, that we still do not have any vaccine, although we do have a day designated to it, the World's AIDS Vaccine Day, which is celebrated on 18th of May every year, in order to raise awareness about how we need to have vaccines for this very, very dangerous disease, extremely dangerous disease. What is the actual problem? We are going to get into that. However, before that, we must understand what are the current treatments for HIV. The current treatments for HIV. Currently, we have only one treatment, which is the antiretroviral therapy. This therapy is not a cure but a management. How? It is actually a combination of drugs. Generally, 3 drugs are combined. Combination of drugs, which is given in the form of a tablet. The person who is undergoing through this treatment has to take 1 tablet every day on the same time. What does it do? It reduces the viral load in the bloodstream. Reduces the viral load in the bloodstream, and eventually it suppresses the virus. Once it is suppressed, the person can live a long and healthy life. Long and healthy life. However, if any person doesn't take this on a regular basis, or if any person opts out of the treatment procedure, what will happen? Again, the viral load will increase in the bloodstream, and this is one problem. The person can again be getting those kind of symptoms which are generally are experienced by persons who are not undergoing any treatment, and the person's immunity will continue to weaken. Apart from that, one thing also we must be careful about: if somebody has opted out of this treatment, the resistance of the virus becomes much higher, because the virus already was exposed through this entire procedure. The virus knows that what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. So the virus will continue to grow strong, and eventually the person can also develop multi-drug resistance HIV/AIDS, which is very common for tuberculosis. All right. So that is why antiretroviral therapy is there. Still, we are not able to have any sort of vaccine. Problems with development of vaccines actually are humongous. So let's talk about them as well. So problems with vaccine development. We are having development, but not any sort of full and finalized vaccine. We do not have that. First problem is retrovirus integration. Second is virus latency. And virus genetic mutation and diversity. These three are the bigger problems. The first problem is that what happens in retrovirus integration, which I have already mentioned, once any person gets infected by this particular virus, that virus is RNA that goes into a person's DNA and integrates itself after getting converted into DNA. So RNA first converts into DNA in the body, and then it integrates with the human DNA. Integrates with human DNA. And once that happens, it continues to infect the cells. It will continue to infect cells. How can we get rid of it? We cannot ever destroy all the cells that are infected. So this is the first problem. Second is virus latency. Virus actually remains dormant for a long period of time. If anybody is infected, they will not show any sort of symptoms initially. The symptoms will be seen after a very long period of time. Why? Because the virus was pretty dormant in nature, and it continues to remain dormant, and it will remain in your body as reserves. After a point of time, when these reserves will be very careful throughout the period that they are there in the body, then they will be very careful about evading the immunity channels, and then they will start infecting you more and more. Apart from that, the genetic mutation and diversity of HIV is a lot. Genetic mutation means that while they are replicating, their spikes and their pattern changes. And when the spikes and pattern changes, what will happen? The antibody that is in your body will not be able to understand if this is the same virus or not. And the diversity is also very huge. These are the three major problems because of which we are not able to develop any sort of vaccine. All right. But India has different plans. If we talk about India, India's plans are in order to raise awareness. We are doing a lot. First of all, if we look at India's journey, first, we have to understand that since the 1980s, we are working on it through the elimination program for HIV/AIDS. We have a national control program for this as well. So India's prevalence in India for HIV has actually declined from 0.33% to 0.20% as of 2024. And this decline is pretty low, this decline is pretty high, as the declination is pretty much good as compared to the world average. If we talk about world average is actually 0.7%. And here India's prevalence is far below it, 0.20%. Now new HIV infections have also dropped. It was in the early 2010. Earlier it was 1.25 lakh. Now it is 64,500 as of 2024. Even new cases are getting reported properly. It is a 49% reduction, which has actually surpassed the global reduction of 40%. The world is reducing at 40%. We are reducing at 49%. Thereafter, these improvements also reflect on efficient government resources allocation and expanded access to ART, which is under NCAP only. Now, talking about NCAP has come since 1985. When we started a plan in order to reduce deaths by this particular disease and also in order to increase awareness for HIV. So India's global deaths in 2024 have occurred 6,30,000 due to HIV AIDS. For India, it is 32,200. This is just 5% of the global total. India's strong performance are because of these. So in order to eliminate, we are going through phase-wise manner. HIV. First phase started from 1985 to 1991, which was only focused upon identifying HIV cases, targeting that population which is undergoing through this particular disease. Then we set the foundation for national level HIV surveillance and response. Eventually, we established a national institute by the name of National AIDS Control Organization, which was set up in 1992 under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Thereafter, the purpose was to coordinate a multi-sectoral national strategy for HIV/AIDS. And control also shifted over time. Earlier it was centralized. Thereafter, we started decentralized approach. We also included people with long-term HIV. We also included NGOs in order to create awareness about HIV/AIDS. National AIDS and STD Control Program. After that, we started this program. Let's talk about this summary. First, National AIDS Control Program Phase 1, 1992 to 1999. India's first comprehensive HIV/AIDS program, this was, in order to slow HIV spread, reduce morbidity and mortality as well. Thereafter, we went through the second phase where the objective was to reduce HIV transmission, build long-term national capacity to respond, and also expand prevention and surveillance. Thereafter, the third phase started from 2007 to 2012. The goal was to halt, put a stop on it, and reverse the HIV epidemic by 2012. Especially among those groups which are high risk. Thereafter, integration of prevention, care, support, and treatment. All were done. Major additions during that was the district AIDS prevention and control units for district level coordination. Thereafter, NACP 4. Goal was to accelerate epidemic reversal and ensure integrated response. 50% reduction in new infections and universal care, support and treatment for people with long-term HIV. And thereafter, the recent one is the national goal, which is NACP 5. National AIDS Control Program 5. The goal is annual new HIV infections have to be reduced by 80%. The baseline is 2010. Reduce AIDS-related mortalities by 80%. Eliminate vertical transmission of HIV and syphilis as well. Vertical transmission means from a mother to the child. Promote universal access to quality STI, RTI services for at-risk and vulnerable population, and eliminate HIV/AIDS related stigma as well as discrimination. So this is our plan, India's plan in order to reduce HIV. Look at this mains question and try to definitely attempt it. Despite scientific limitations such as viral latency and lack of cure, India's AIDS control program is considered a global success story. Analyze the institutional, behavioral and community level strategies which enable this outcome. You have to write it in 150 words. Try to do it, okay? So till then, thank you so much. Bye-bye and take care.